What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Attack on Titan. One last episode left, which we were going to be getting in 2 weeks, WrestleMania weekend, because I believe because it got delayed a few weeks ago. Literally, I wish it didn't get delayed because literally that weekend, that episode airs is WrestleMania weekend. And you guys know me, a big WWE guy and wrestling, all that shit, because my weekend is going to be jacked. I got TakeOver in the morning on Saturdays because WWE decided to put TakeOver and WrestleMania Night 1 on the same goddamn day for whatever reason. I pray to God they don't make this a thing with TakeOvers going forward with NXT 2.0. Keep them on separate days for the love of God. Please, I am begging you. I got TakeOver, then I got WrestleMania Night 1, Toonami, which, that's going to be my chill time, hopefully. Hopefully there's not going to be any issues that week, because this weekend, for some reason, Toonami was giving me some issues where I couldn't get the stream up on my internet, but when I switched over to my phone and used my data, the stream worked fine. Don't know what that was about. Regardless, I got Toonami. Then on Saturday, I got AOT and then WrestleMania Night 2. I am going to have a miserable weekend that weekend. So many videos, so many big things I got to do reviews on, man. But hey, at least I'll have the week off where I won't have anything I got to record for the weekend, and that'll be my calm for my score, my time to prepare for this jacked week, But either way, man. This episode was fucking phenomenal, and bro, the art and animation in this episode, I have mentioned, I've kind of at this point, Mappa, like I said, you guys know, have been slowly kind of giving us bits and pieces of that WIT Studios budget, that glorious, lucrative WIT Studio budget with the animation. We've gotten it a couple times, but never that long. It hasn't gone as long, or maybe not even as detailed, or as fucking holy fucking shit. This is some of the greatest animation I've ever seen, like we did with AOT Season 3. But which I always got like, oh, they're probably saving that for the movie, because I keep hearing manga readers, I don't have enough time to adapt everything in the last episode. So most likely we're gonna be getting a movie that'll adapt everything up to this point. That will adapt everything else and give the ending and all that shit. I thought they were just gonna save it for the movie, honestly. Just save all that glorious WIT Studio budget animation for the movie. But no, no, good sir. Mappa jacked the fuck out of the budget for this episode, because we got that WIT Studios animation. And my God, it was fucking glorious, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking glorious. And I find it funny that we get all this glorious, legendary art animation for AOT WIT Studios quality animation the day after I go and watch Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Because I saw it last night, guys. My review is already up on the channel if you guys want to check that out. If I remember, I'll leave it up in the iCards above for you guys who want to check it out. Or, you can just look for it. But if I remember, I'll put it up in the iCards for you guys. But yeah, funny, Jujutsu Kaisen had its own legendary animation, its own right, but I just find it funny that the animation there was so good. And the next night, Mappa comes out swinging with AOT and gives us the best animated episode from them by far, man. Not even the animation, I would even say the art overall I thought was a little bit more detailed in this episode than usual. I don't know, I could just be crazy, but certain scenes looked like there was a lot more detail put in them than what we typically get from Mappa. But either way, man, this episode was a feast for the eyes in terms of animation quality, man. Seriously, legendary, god-tier animation. But the day doesn't stop giving with me, man, because I was got one last thing I also want to news for you guys to watch out before we jump right in the action. I just managed to score the pre-order for the No Way Home Steelbook, because for a while now, for basically almost as long as the Steelbook's been announced and pre-orders went live originally, I have been pestering my mom to pre-order this goddamn thing, because you guys know me, I'm a collector. I'm the type of guy that if there's a Steelbook available, I want the Steelbook for that movie more times than not, especially with the movie that I really love, like No Way Home with Batman. I want the fucking Steelbook. Other movies I'm not too keen on. I don't really care so much to see if it's a movie that I kind of enjoyed that I want to get the Blu-ray of. Sure, I'm not going to lose sleep if I don't get the Steelbook. But for something like No Way Home, especially with how good the Steelbook looks, because more times the Steelbooks look amazing, way better than the original Blu-ray artwork, I want the fucking Steelbook. So, after pestering my mom long enough, she eventually, because I told her maybe try and call it up because we couldn't order it off the website because it was out of stock. So I thought they were out of stock. The pre-order for done. I was maybe saying oh, maybe she can call the Best Buy. I don't know, see if she could pre-order it over the phone or something. And she said basically just to keep the guy said basically just keep eyes on the website, keep refreshing the page. They'll restock it eventually, and then just just be quick about it when you just order really quick. So that's what I did last night, and like I checked it, nothing. Then this morning, like literally like a few minutes before I started recording, I decided to check Best Buy, and boom, the thing was able for pre-order. I pre-ordered that shit real fucking quick, and I got it, man. So yep, I got the No Way Home Steelbook. Looking forward to when that finally comes. For that one finally comes in there and unboxing it for you guys. That is going to be awesome. But anyway, just wanted to give you that, give you guys that news because I'm super excited. Super pumped up for getting that Steelbook, man. Looks amazing. Can't wait to finally have home. Have No Way Home on home video. I'm slurring my words. I'm rambling all over. Got it, please. So excited for the episode and this. I'm just in a good mood, man. But anyway, enough me rambling, enough me going off on steelbooks and shit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we start this one off with some recap of what happened last week with Annie and Reiner transforming, of course, Connie shooting the other two guys. And I loved how this was edited together, where we get where we see like the guy falling, like sinking into the ocean, rather fading to Vlad, to fade back to Armin with his arm out, and before fading out again to Connie's shaking hands, before fading out to Connie's face with tears, his eyes looking over at Armin, and looked amazing. And then we just see Annie just come out right behind him, and we get to the other members of the Survey Corps, them attacking Annie as well as Reiner. They're going at it. But while all of this is going on, we literally get the worst news possible is gifted to Hanji and the others, and you can hear in the voice acting their hearts sink when they hear this depressing news, where in order to get the flying boat ready for actual flight, it would take an entire day to do it. But they said with the correct stuff, they could maybe get it done in half a day. So that means that Hanji, Armin, Mikasa, Connie, Annie, Reiner, everybody in this goddamn harbor has to hold off the Survey Corps for half a day. That is insane, man. Like I said, you can hear it in the voice acting. They're like, "What did you just say?" You know. But luckily, the old woman comes in clutch and has an idea where she decides to say, when they decide to take the boat over, connect the boat over to a ship, and then have the ship travel all the way over to Odia, if I'm pronouncing that right, in order to which is a Marleyan city on the coast, that they can get there to finish the preparations for the flying board to, of course, stop the rumbling, find air, and all that shit. And we also find out that because of how long that was originally going to take, 6 days, they would have already the rumbling would have already gone like 600 kilometers, I think it was, inland, and it would have already been too late for Libria. Which one thing I found interesting here, which you guys know is Annie's hometown, and basically where everyone else of the Marleyans, of the warrior candidates is from. It's that when John hears this, we get this flashback to him, and I believe it was Connie, wrapping their arms around this other guy. They're obviously all three of them drunk, just having a good time partying. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we have never seen this moment in the anime before. We have not seen anything of what John and any of the others were doing while they were hiding in Marlia, while Aaron was stationed. While Aaron was in that hospital, we had no idea what the hell they were doing. So I don't know if maybe this was something they might have cut from the manga that they kind of put back in here from this way, or if this was something totally different. But I just found it kind of interesting. We got like a look into what John and the others were doing while they were stationed in Marley, waiting to get Aaron back. So I just found that interesting. We got there. So anyway, as I was saying, Hanji says it would have already been too late for Liberio, and that place would have already been destroyed, and then in 4 days they could trample the entire continent. So yeah, this is their best bet to get the, because then when they get to Odia, how do you fucking pronounce it? They'll be able to get the preparations done quickly, and they'll be able to get to that country before the rumbling gets there. But if they'll still be standing in half a day, that's a different story. But at least this will definitely give them a better chance to get the flying boat ready and to help to at least slow down the rumbling, at least a little bit. So at least there's some hope out here. There is some. It was not complete and utter despair. So she's rushing over to go and tell Mikasa and the others the plan. Also, one other thing, right before Hanji goes over and tells everyone and tells everyone else the plan. You had Mac asking the guys, telling them like, "Oh, does the ship have pulled? Yeah, we can get done in 30. Just do it in 15." I always love that shit when they're like, "Oh, we can do it in 13, do it in 15, or 30 minutes, do it in 15." But anyway, so she goes over there. We then get back to Annie. She's like defending. She's like, swatting away all of the guys. I gotta say, one of them had like the sound. There was one scene. There was one of them that I thought was really nuts. Where like she like swats one of them into this steel beam thing, and the sound it gives up when he like bounces off it was very sad. Like boom. I don't know. Thought that sound very satisfying. But anyway. These guys are attacking. There's Annie. She's doing her best to defend them. Mikasa actually comes in there to actually help to assist her, which is something I never thought I would ever see in my life. Mikasa actually assisting Annie, but she does does her own little fucking web rush or web kick, whatever that attack was in Web of Shadow, where you can webs it to your opponent to bounce off of them. She basically did that with one of the soldiers before she went over and lashed onto Annie, told her that they're not gonna be boarding their ship and getting the boat ready on the continent. So she tells her to defend the ship now. So she goes, tells Reiner the same thing. Reiner is swatting away using his armor to deflect the thunder spears, and as they're going, and then we see them attack Mikasa going after Flouch, with even Hanji getting in on the action too, which was pretty interesting to see Hanji swinging around the swords and shit. I was like, yo, she's going into her inner Levi right there real quick, man. So as he's fighting with Mikasa and Hanji, he's wondering why he notices the Azumati Bito mechanics running from hiding and out in the open. He's obviously telling them to shoot at them and kill them, which Reiner's using his armor to defend them and block the thunder spears. But he's wondering why are they out? Why are they out and why are they attacking? Or where are they going to where they're risking their lives at? And that's when he realizes they're going after the boat. So then he tells everyone to start attacking the boat. So while that's going on, they start attacking those legs, and Annie's trying to best defend them. Then actually, when a bunch of thunder spears come after Annie, Reiner comes in there and just takes the blast full frontal, right in the face, man. Reiner came in clutch, man. So, the animation was fucking awesome too. So this is when he gets over to meets up with the rest of whatever members of the Survey Corps they got left there, and tells them they're planning to go by ship to kill Eren. So obviously tells them to go at them. If Eren dies, Paradise sinks into a sea of blood, and the world will take vengeance on them and kill your parents, siblings, and children. Shingo Sasaya! Shingo Sasaya. Love that. Just love that phrase, man. Anyway, that's when we get over with Peak, as well as Peak with Falco and everyone else. At this point, I'm like, yo, are we gonna see Falco's Titanfall? Are we gonna see his Titanfall? And which we ended up getting, my answer not too long afterwards. But they see all this going on. Peak's kind of hiding away in some corner while these explosions are going on. They know they're targeting the ship now, and they're not going to be able to bid. And Yakupo mentions that these two won't last very long. And that's when Falco says, I got to get in there. I got to use the power of the jaw and help him. And then Pigtail's like, that's not a good idea. Your first transformation will not go well, which she ended up being right, as we see later on in the episode. So this is when Annie and Reiner really start to get their asses kicked, because this is when you start to see pieces of Annie's Titan's flesh falling down to the ground. Reiner's armor is starting to break apart in various parts of his body, and he's where it's like, oh, if only Gilead was here instead of me, blah 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 blah. Eventually, Falco says, "Fuck it," and he gets off Pink and runs over to transform. So eventually Pete goes under the water to come back up to where the harbor is to have everyone loaded on the ship. How everyone stayed on her back while they were underwater, I don't know, because I don't think that harness they got there was, I don't know. Whatever, maybe that like that harness thing they're connected to was enough to hold them in place. I don't know. Regardless, she gets him on the boat and tells Magaf that Falco left. After Connie gives Armin, he goes over to help out as well. So then after that, this something interesting happens where we see this ship getting loaded in with coal, and obviously we know that on this ship is the reinforcements of the Survey Corps to help defend the harbor. And Sasha, and not Sasha, Hanji and Mikasa, they're one trying to figure out, they need to figure out a way how to stop this, otherwise they're gonna get really fucked if this shit gets there. But for some reason, inexplicably, it explodes. Now, we never see what caused the explosion. Alright, so my dumbass just forgot that Shages was revealed to be the one responsible for the explosion, but I just legitimately forgot when I was recording this section of the review, so please excuse my nonsensical rambling for the next minute or so. We don't know if it was Dynamite, maybe another mysterious character, maybe someone else we haven't seen in a while, maybe someone that faked his death that we saw die in season 1. Hey, maybe it was fucking Levi for all we know. Maybe Levi came in there and saved the day. I don't know. But all we know, this train explodes and there's no reinforcements. Now this obviously begs a question. Who the fuck exploded the train? Or what was it, dynamite? Did someone put dynamite on the tracks? Did Hanji lace the tracks with some dynamite to blow up, like what Gabby did back in the first half of season 1? Or season 4 rather, in the first episode? Did that happen, like what she did with the tank? I don't know. Maybe she did and we just didn't know about it. I don't fucking know. But I just find that kind of weird and interesting that the train just mysteriously explodes and we don't really get much of an explanation of why. Like, it's not even really mentioned. They're just, Hanji just says, what? And then they just like never refer back to what happened to that ship, to that train. I don't know if we're maybe gonna get some explanation on that in the last episode. Maybe this we'll get our answer in the fucking movie. I don't fucking know. At this point, I do not know what is going to be what happened to the train. But whatever, maybe it was fucking divine intervention from God himself. Anyway, the train explodes, so they're good. That's one last thing they got worried about. And so Flouch is obviously distraught by this. They say that gods, and then we get back to Falcon, who looks like he's using like a nail to cut his hand, or maybe I can't tell if it's a nail or just like a small ass knife. Regardless, he's trying to cut his hand. Nothing's really happening, and that's actually when John comes in there from behind, or rather, he like descends from a rooftop onto some crates, and he's like, "Hey, yo, Falcon, what the hell you doing here, man? Get on the boat." Like, oh, right, yes. And so and then that's when we literally see Annie's Titan head literally fall and smash on top of the brown man. She literally it just rolls up onto the floor, man. And she says she can't see anything. I don't know how that didn't kill her, because she lost her head. Literally, her entire head just fell off, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how that didn't somehow work with the nape shit, how that didn't kill her, but whatever. She somehow managed to survive that. Either way, man, then that's when we finally get that God tier animation, ladies and gentlemen. Which for some reason Connie and Flouch got the God tier animation, not Mikasa. But whatever the case may be, this episode animation was God tier. With who? With who? I say? With who? But yeah, man, the animation here is fucking God tier. These two, everyone starts going after Annie and Reiner, then Connie comes out of nowhere and he's just slicing motherfuckers. It looks so badass, man. Mikasa comes in there decapitating fools along with John helping out Mikasa, taking out the last chick that was about to shoot at Mikasa, and then we get like this badass shot with Mikasa with blood all over her face, man. Loki, I kind of wish she kept the blood on, man, like what happened with Austin and back it out. Snakes are more fun. You guys know I actually got dubbed that look. Austin covered in the blood of her enemies, being baptized in the blood of her, which to be fair, Mikasa gets baptized too. So I still kind of got it, but she just wipes the blood off, man. Fucking badass, man. So then Pink gets in there, man. She starts helping out. Then the Thunder Spears start going after her. She gets some God tier animation. She's running away from the Thunder Spears, man. Looked amazing. Then we get a bunch of stills of everyone of the battlefield of Hanji, Connie, Mikasa massacring people. Seriously, this looks like a fucking. Mikasa's frame looks like something out of a horror movie. She looks like she's not killing these motherfuckers. She's massacring these motherfuckers. Fucking awesome, man. Fucking awesome. So then not Connie. Falcon comes up there with his hand extended out there, and then he finally transforms into his Titan form. I fucking love his Titan form, man. It looks so badass. Clearly, you can tell Ishiyama took major inspiration from the Wolfman and werewolves in general. This design, it looks incredible, man. I fucking loved it. So This breaks the foundation. So now this is their own. And as John says, this is the foundation broken. Now is our chance. Mikasa going in there. She's this I thought was pretty funny. Mikasa's going so fast that she's literally faster than the animators can animate her. She's killing motherfucker. Literally, we see like 3 fucking Survey Corps members get died, but we don't see Mikasa at all. We just see the blood. She is that fast, ladies and gentlemen, that not even the animators can animate her. So then we get this badass face-off between Flouch and Falco, and he just charges right in there. Goes, oh my god! I've literally rewatched this part of the episode like has to be like 10 times, man. With who? Seriously, the animations. Hell, I might say this might even be better than Wit's animation. Seriously, bro, this shit was awesome. So this man jumps over fucking Falco, then Hanji tries to stop him, but he managed to block her attack, manages to dodge Pig, and I guess uses a Thunder Spear to propel him even further towards the ship as he screams, I'll be the one to save Eldia, man. Listen, as much as I fucking despise Flouch, man, I hate this motherfucker. This man, he is a resilient motherfucker. This man refuses to die. But thankfully, it looks like maybe Gabby was the one that shot him. He misses, and which for some reason the water in the ocean is black and a very darkish red color, maybe almost purple. I don't know if that's just straight from all the blood from Annie and Reiner just swatting all the Survey Corps members, and the blood is just getting into the harbor, and there's so much of it is legit changing the color of it. Or if this was or just something with the lighting. I just found it weird that the ocean or this seabed was black, with like the water itself kind of having this more of a darkish maroon type color. Don't know if that was some animation error, lighting, or if it's legit, or if the sea's legit been flooded, been covered with the blood of enemies that's legit just changed the color of it. Thought that was a little bit weird, but whatever. Anyway, after that. So then Mikasa is back to just slaughtering motherfuckers, and she even starts getting creative too. Yeah, Mikasa gets creative now, where she grabs one of the guys of the Survey Corps guys while they're still connected to the Odium gear, throws it into one of the other guys, stabs them both with the sword, them both through the chest, and then she clicks the trigger on the dude's things to fire off the 2 thunder spears on this guy, leading to this massive explosion where then she is then baptized in the blood of her enemies, and we get this ultra badass shot where she simply turns to the camera. Awesome! Fucking legendary. And this is when the Serpent Corps man's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. They realize that they cannot stop this woman, and then they hightail and run. So once that happens, that's when Jacopo tells them that the boat is ready and that to hurry up and board. So everyone starts boarding up, but Falco, my man's still seeing red, man. So Pete tries to stop him, but he ends up just attacking Pete, like pinning her down as he starts munching on her. Then Magath comes in there, slightly opens up his nape, and then finally pulls him out of his Titan form. And so, yeah, Falco is good now. Tells him he's done well. And then gives him to Capone, and he asks him what's going to happen to him. He says that he is going to guard the rear. So, as everyone else is boarded the ship and running off, Gabby asks Pete where Magath is. He says it's General, because I think she said like Commander, but she's like it's General. So then, actually, I guess 2 of the guys either didn't leave or they came back. They're like, oh, there's still one left. Fire him. So these 2 start attacking him, which then we get the greatest team up possibly in Attack on Titan, where we find out that Shadis comes in there and saves Magath. This is a team up I didn't know I wanted, but I'm so glad we got it. Because and I didn't even really think about this or even notice this until this moment when I was watching the episode. You guys will see my reaction too, where the reason this is so awesome is because they're basically the same character, but just on different sides. They even look the same. The only difference is Magath has hair. This was so fucking cool, man. It was so awesome when these 2. I was losing my shit when we actually got to see these 2 face to face. And we also found that he was the one responsible for the Jaeger's train exploded. So then we find out the reason he's staying behind is because there's actually a second boat, Marlian transport that they captured Marlian transport, and with its speed and everything, they'd be able to catch up to the main boat and sink it in the front. So they obviously just can't leave it around. So he's there to destroy it, and Matt and Shadis decides to send them help. So they go down, so they go into the ship. They're in, I guess, the ammo supply room where he's like opening up this thing, basically just. He's like, oh, I don't know what the hell he's even doing. Only thing I could recognize him doing was like laying out some gunpowder. But anyway, he's here just to set the ammo supply on fire, and he's telling like, hey, Shades, now it's your time to jump the sea. He's like, nah, I'm fine. I was looking for a place to die anyway. So then he asks him why he helped us. And then we found out that Shadis was actually the one that saw Annie. That was that shadowy figure up in the window that was looking down on Annie as they were walking away. So or riding away, I should say. So we find out that Shadis was the one that was watching them, and we see that he was moved by what his student what he was planning and how much they'd grown. And he says, then Maga tells him that if you hadn't stopped him before, it would have been over. It would have been all over for us. And so then he tells us a Shades that I'm sure one day you'll be known as one of the heroes that saved the world. He says that makes two of us. And then Maga says there's nothing he's done that he can be proud of. He turned those kids into tools, convenient tools. He ignored the voice of his conscience. And then he realized that if those kids lived a normal life, who knows how happy that would have made him feel. And then Shadis, like a true Sigma male, like a true legend, a true goat, tells him that even if you can't be any powerful, you have my respect. Seriously, man, this whole conversation was fucking awesome. This whole interaction between these two legends was fucking awesome. One of the best moments in Attack on Titan, period. Ugh! Ishiyama, my guys! Why are you doing this? And then I guess two of the Jaegers end up finding them, and they're like, hey, what are you doing? Open up! So, and then Shadis hands him the gun, and then we end this badass exchange with them exchanging their names. And then first Magath asks him what his name is, and then Shadis then tells him it's Keith Shadis. And then Magath introduces himself, lays the gun down, giant explosion, the ship blows up, and of course you got Gabby and you got Pete crying, everyone else is shot. I am saddened too. My heartstrings were tugging. They were tugging my heartstrings, man. And bro, the music also. Shout outs to the music. OST that was phenomenal, but yeah, man. I think this is the time for all of us to crack a cold one up for these two legends, man, and pay our respects. Goats, man, goats. Oh man. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the episode quote unquote ends. But we do indeed get a post credit scene where Hanji basically tells Annie as well as everyone else that they weren't able. Basically, it's too late for Librio. It is going to be destroyed. Annie falls down. She starts crying, knowing that she no longer has no more reason left to cry. She asks Mikasa once again if she can kill Eren, or if she tries to kill Eren, will she be able to just sit there and watch? And we also got some stuff from Hanji telling them the reason that they died about Maggie, that he knew this was going to happen, and he didn't stay back to destroy the boat just for Marlia or Librio, but it was to save the lives of any one more life so he could save the life of even one more stranger. So then we just have Annie just also shout out to Annie's behavior, man. She was phenomenal, man. Fucking amazing voice acting. That she doesn't want to kill each other anymore. She's basically just given up at this point because her dad is most likely dead at this point. Which a part of me is hoping he's not. I hope he's not dead, but most likely if the fucking Marlian soldiers didn't kill him when that happened a few episodes back, the fucking rumbling will certainly kill him. But hopefully maybe he'll survive. Maybe Ishiyama will be nice to Annie. Who knows? But anyway, she is basically just completely given up and doesn't want to fight anymore, and just doesn't want everyone to kill each other anymore. And that is when the episode ends. We officially ends. Then we got the next episode 3. Jesus H fucking Christ! What a fucking episode, ladies and gentlemen! What a fucking episode! Craziness, man, craziness. This episode was amazing, without a doubt. Top 5 best episodes of Attack on Titan, easy, man. And yeah, man, nothing more I can say about this show other than that. I've said everything I possibly can say about this episode, man. Phenomenal work, loved it. Looking forward to the final episode when that drops in 2 weeks. God help me if I'll even be alive by then with TakeOver and WrestleMania. But yeah, see you guys then, and maybe that's when we'll find out the announcement of the movie, or maybe for the movie. I don't know, or maybe they'll do another season. Doubtful. They'll probably stick this all in a movie, most likely, because Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen Zero's also been doing pretty good too, as well. I heard from box office. Apparently, even broke Demon Slayer's opening weekend record in the States. So. Money talks, and I think Matt was seeing the green in money in movies. But anyway, guys, overall, I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you did. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you're link in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time. She's too